Previously on Al York Sports Show.
NFL has a legal right to later set up an entertainment company to fix games. The only way that'll get fixed is if the government pulls the antitrust law. Period.
What's up, sports fans? This is Al York Sports from the Al York Sports Show, presenting you rigged, fixed, or games being tampered with. Trust me, you guys want to tune into this show. It's based on opinions and opinions only. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to play devil's advocate with both sides. Both sides is going to get it from me on why they thinking what they thinking, and they got to prove to me why they thinking what they thinking. And you're not going to know this unless you guys tune in tonight to the Al York Sports Show. Fixed, rigged, or games tampered with. Next up is colleague number 3, my man Big Al, aka Al Wonder. That's my guy right here, in case y'all didn't know. Big Al, what's your take on sports today, or sports throughout the duration that you've been watching it for a lifetime? Do you think it's 100% legitimate? If yes, explain. If no, explain. Talk to the audience.
For a long time, I've been watching sports. Since I was very young, always hyper competitive. And I've seen sports grow from Major League Baseball, football, across different sports to the UFC currently. Has gotten a little bit too big for its own britches and by its own doing. And that's kind of the angle that I see when it comes to sports in general, and whether or not some nefarious things are taking place behind closed doors. Yes, it's very possible when you have $1 billion industry, and it's usually the angle that a lot of people don't see. It gives you a 30,000 foot view where you could kind of see it taking a step back. A lot of people get dialed in. Right. They're focused on their team, their record, that one play, something that may have been called a little bit off or saw it was not right. It didn't, especially with replay and being able to see everything, in detail. The scrutiny is there and the skepticism is there, and rightfully so.
Okay, now when you say that, give my audience an example of what you mean. You said it, but now we want examples. I'm pretty sure you got a few examples.
What I mean when you have an industry that is solely focused on claiming they are looking out for the integrity of the shield. We'll bring up football, for example. That's the biggest one that everybody's focused on right now.
Most money, I would agree.
There's a lot of things with the NFL that you could take into question. They are an entertainment industry. That's the way they file their taxes. They come across as a competitive sport, so they want to maintain that image. But the real integrity comes the amount of dollars that they can demand or ask from a sponsor, an advertiser for their commercials or for a Super Bowl. And to maintain the integrity of the Shield is to maintain the financial end of what they're doing. They are gaming everybody's performance, their fandom, and getting people to follow and watch. And the eyes are very important. Without the eyes on the TV, you can't sell. And that's what they're selling. It's a nonstop commercial.
Right.
So with that being said, and the amount of money that they have, for an example, you look at the Super Bowl. I believe it was the Baltimore Ravens. Weren't they blowing out the San Francisco 49ers? And the lights went out?
Lights went out.
Oh yeah, the lights went out. So for an older team to all of a sudden stop, they're very routine. So you put the brakes on them and you ice them. And then you got a younger team who's playing with house money, and all of a sudden they're able to, we want to get back in it. They got a little bit extra time to study up and get back in the game. The one thing that people were focusing on was the athletes, the game, when it was going to start again. What you weren't thinking about was the commercials that were paid for, that were going to be airing in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. And that's when people pay the bigger money to tune in, the end of the game, the trophy ceremony and such. Well, all of a sudden, if you have a 30-point blowout, who's watching the second half. This is a Super Bowl. You have people that are at beach parties, they're at a pool party, they're at this party. They could turn the game off and keep drinking. It's a party. It's like New Year's during the day.
Gotcha.
It's a great celebration. So to have the eyes turn off the TV the following year, they're not going to be able to ask for the same amount of money for those commercials. Their ratings would tank. Their sponsors and their advertisers would freak. They're not getting the juice for the squeeze. So,
All right, so to be clear, folks, to be clear, the stoppage you think was premeditated?
I'm saying that with the amount of money that is involved, I'm not surprised that something like that would happen. It's not beyond, normal thought. It's not even a conspiracy.
But was it premeditated out? That's my question to you.
Who would know? Who would know? Who are the people that benefit emotionally, physically, or financially?
Well,
it comes down to financial, and it comes down to the money.
Right.
Who would benefit? Those are the people that would know, and that would be the people behind the shield, the people that actually benefit financially.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Big Al, what did you think of it? When that happened, did your antennas went up and go, this is that bullshit? I know exactly what's going on.
I work on cell towers, so I'm very familiar with electrical and what needs to take place with troubleshooting prior to an event like that or of that magnitude.
Fact.
They had troubleshooted and had people on staff that could address those issues in a matter of seconds, and it still happened? No way. I'm not buying it. It doesn't pass the smell check. Not for 1 second. You got to be a low density, low IQ.
Right.
You got a low ceiling for thought, and it's not beyond. It just seemed fishy, and it didn't pass the smell check. Not for me. Not for anybody that had been anywhere near electrical work.
Right. And see, that's the thing with a lot of sports. The word fishy is all around it. Now, I'm not gonna claim that the sports is fixed because of that, but Jeff said it earlier, right? I'm gonna use fish, for example. If it looked like a fish and it smells like a fish, then it's a fish. But what I wanna get at to support you guys, opinions, because this is all opinionated, is we gotta
dual play. When they came out with the rule with the catch and what constitutes a catch, there was no real black and white definition.
No real rule.
So they took Terrell Owens, who was on the Dallas Cowboys, a big team for entertainment value. Whether they do well or they do bad, Dallas is in the news. So this dude on any schoolyard, if you ever played after school, homie made an incredible catch and came down with it. Yeah, it moved a little bit, but he caught it. He caught it before he went down. They called it no catch. And the eruption, that takes you from Sunday night to Monday news, Tuesday and Wednesday. You're the talk around the water cooler.
Okay, which game was this, Al?
Dallas Cowboys, when Terrell Owens made that catch. It was kind of on the side of his head, and he went through the end zone. They said it wasn't a catch, even though he caught it, but he had moved it.
When I say we, I'm a Cowboy fan. We also had Dez Bryant make a clear catch against Green Bay.
Then that's the
one. I didn't know which one. But he wasn't in the end zone. That's why I wasn't sure. But Dez Bryant clearly made the catch.
They clearly made it before he went down, and they said it wasn't a catch. It was Dez Bryant. But the eruption, news-wise, that followed was to get everyone's attention on the new rule and what is a catch and isn't a catch, and whether it's good or bad to get people talking. Well, if you have all these rules that are set up with instant replay, there's a lot of plays in instant replay you can't question, you can't challenge it. And with those plays, it could be in the second quarter, the first quarter. If the ref is throwing a flag on some innocuous hand play that was on the other side of the field, then that either stops a drive or it allows the drive to continue, and that could be a 14-point swing. But it takes place in the first third of the game, and that swings the overall point total, and it's still up to the players to make plays. Now, the parity in the league is pretty evident with the talent, but there are individuals that do excel. Those teams excel. Do they want those teams to be 3 or 4 teams and the rest average? No, they want to somehow take it down or give other teams the idea and the chance that they have an opportunity or a real chance to beat one of these premier teams.
Right.
And so that keeps eyes on the screen. There's nothing worse than the NFL hating the fact that nobody tunes into a Monday night game because it's a bad matchup or it's stunk on a Sunday night game. They put all of those to kind of Thursday and then sell them to online streaming. So they get rid of the dog. They get to trim the fat over there.
Right.
But the rest of the games, they want to make it so that there's the idea of parity and that everybody has a chance. So there's ways that the NFL can play that. Overall, why would they do something like that? They would benefit for eyes on the screen, advertisers, sponsors, overall brand, logoing. They're protecting the brand. They're protecting the image. The integrity of the shield is a dollar sign. So as far as I'm concerned, the possibility is there. Whether it is or not, it's up to the average fan to figure it out for themselves. There's no telling at this point.
Okay, we gotta wrap it up. One thing I want to say real quick. What I don't understand is the instant replay. We all see it. Billions of people see it. If it's inconclusive, I'm fine with that. But there's many times that I've seen the most obvious thing, and they still don't get it right. And that's one of the main things that kills me. I mean, obvious. And how you don't get that right. How do we see it watching and you guys are so-called professionals in the booth and y'all don't get it right?
There's a saying, and it's from the movie, Gangs of New York.
Right.
And they bring in the people from the NFL to be up in the booth that oversee replay and so on and so forth. And in the movie, Gangs of New York, Tammany says, the appearance of the law must be upheld, especially when it's being broken.
Okay, there you go. Al, thank you for coming on board, baby.
That's right.
Thank you for having your take. Thank you for making time to show up. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Noah Parker. Thank you, Jeffrey Gerson, Sam the Man, Al York Sports, Rig Fix, or Games Tampered Wit. I hope all of you guys tune in. Put your comments in. Everybody can join and say your opinions because this show is based on opinions. And with that, take care, everybody. Love you, Al York Sports, the raw truth.